Start, as always, with our mission statement. So, our mission here is to create the greatest group of professional traders compiled in the world. We work tirelessly every day to improve our individual selves and push each other to get the most out of one another. With each individual's personal accountability, 100% effort, and consistent action towards focusing on our controllables, we will each reach our full potential individually and as a family. I, Stefanos, pledge to be the best version of myself today, to do whatever it takes to be the greatest trader that I can be, and to be the most self-disciplined person that I know. I will do the things I have to do today, regardless of how I feel, one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time. I will control what I can control, not worry about anything else, right? So, reminders, we do not overtrade, we do not over-risk. We don't need to catch a trade today. It's Monday. Stay patient, getting towards the end of the month. Not that we're not going to catch a trade, but you need to have high standards for those setups. 1 to 2 trade ideas per day. 3 if you get a perfect setup on that third one. Capital preservation over capital appreciation. Obviously, gaining capital on your and compounding your account is very important as a trader. That's probably one of the most important things, but you also want to focus on keeping your capital from the previous trade or from last week, especially on a Monday. Well, risk management is number 1. So, keep your trading plan in front of you. Read it, especially if you're just getting back into the groove, back into trading. I want you to read through your trading plan and make sure that that's what you're sticking to at all times. Make smart decisions. Trade what you see, not what you think. We are system oriented. Now, how much money can I make on this? Think longevity, think efficiency, think long term. We aren't here just to make as much as we can this week. We're here to learn. We're here to become better traders over the courses of our lives and on a daily basis. Have a sense of urgency today when it comes to your daily must, right? No distractions, cut distractions, and focus on what you need to get done today and focus on what you can control. And then after that, when you're done with that, you can either put more work in and go the extra mile where it's a very lonely road, not many people are on it, or at least you know that you got what you needed to get done today and you can now relax a little bit and enjoy the rest of your day. Whether you have a partner, you have a girlfriend, or something like that, you can now enjoy the rest of that day because you know consistently you are getting those daily musts done. Now, finally, most importantly, eliminate excuses and any victim mindset. Take full accountability for your actions and your decisions. Okay? We got Surgeon here. What's up, brother? Hope you had a good weekend, buddy.
Yeah, it was good. Thank
Looking
you, guys.
good, man. Just came out of the gym.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right. So, that reminds me, Quentin, have you been able to work out at all out there?
Man, I got back into the gym on Saturday, I think.
Okay.
And so I hadn't been in the gym for 3 weeks. And I did legs, but
You did legs?
I did legs, but they don't have like a squat rack or anything. So I used dumbbells. I think it was like 40 pounds dumbbells. And so I did Bulgarian squats.
Nice.
And I did a ton of reps of that. And I still can't sit on the toilet.
I was gonna say you did it Saturday. Today's Monday. Today you're gonna be feeling it.
Yeah.
If
It
you
hurts.
went all out.
Hurts. Yeah.
Oh,
I did I think I did like 7 sets.
Oh wow.
Of just exercise.
7 sets of what? To failure?
Pretty close to it. Like 12 to 15 reps a set.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Glad you got back in there.
Yeah, thanks.
And like when you're on a trip like that, I always bring a deck of cards with me. So, you always have that opportunity to at least work out. And even without a deck of cards, you can do push-ups, setups.
I actually
squats.
booked my next accommodation at a gym's owner. So I'll leave just up top of the gym.
Oh, wow. That makes it easy, huh?
Yeah.
Awesome.
He lives in the middle of rice fields, and he has like the dude has a gym just like next to his apartment, and I'm gonna be like living into like a separate part of his house above the gym.
Man. Airbnb?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, send some videos of what it looks like and stuff like that. I'd be curious.
For sure, for sure.
All right, let's get right into the economic calendar for today. We got a bank holiday over in the Eastern world, Australia and New Zealand over here. So that'll be during the Asian session. As always, Asian really ranges, so you may not be having very much volume tonight. But yeah, the German IFO business climate over here came out a little bit higher than expected, right? Also higher than previous as well, so that's good. But again, I think the last one that came out really took a tank. I think that was last week or the week before. German IFO business climate came out. The zoo economic sentiment really took a tank. So that's it's good to see that their business climate is up a little bit over here. But looking at tomorrow, you have the Italian bank holiday. Shouldn't be affecting us too much. We have consumer confidence coming out for the U.S. You have new home sales, right? Mortgages have definitely gone down in the U.S. Richmond manufacturing index is coming out. We had Empire State Manufacturing Index in the beginning of last week, really hit a good mark, and we really got some good numbers out of that. But towards the end of the week, Philly Fed Manufacturing Index really took a hit. So Richmond tomorrow is going to be coming out. So we'll see what they have as far as their number. They're expecting less than previous over here. I'm sure maybe based on what they had previously, and then also the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, but we'll see what they get. CPI coming out of Australia, right? So that'll be important tomorrow night during the Asian session. I'm sure we'll get some volume during that. Typically around 9 p.m. Eastern, we get some volume during Asian. If we are going to get volume during Asian, that's typically where you get that nice little push, especially in the beginning of any kind of week. So we'll be expecting here. They're expecting less inflation, so that's good for any economy right now. Looking at Wednesday, you got core durable goods coming out of the U.S., so that'll be important. We'll see if we get a nice move at 8:30 on Wednesday. Typically Wednesday we get some really good volume at that time. So right smack in the middle of the week, you have crude oil inventories coming out for the U.S. as well. And again, that's really about it. You got CBI, realized sales coming out of Great Britain, so we can take a look at that. And then the consumer climate coming out of Germany as well. They're expecting a little bit better, a little bit higher than previous over here, the negative 29.5. Looking at Thursday, GDP is coming out, right? So that'll be important. That's probably one of the main focuses of the week, if not the main focus of the week when it comes to the U.S. Retail sales really took a hit a couple weeks ago when it comes to the U.S. So we'll see what GDP is coming out at. They're expecting less than previous over here. Unemployment claims expecting a little bit more than previous as well, not too much. So it's not going to be too much of a surprise unless it is a surprise what we get, and really moves the market on Thursday at 8:30. Tokyo CPI coming out as well for Japan. They just had they're having elections pretty soon, which will be important, and it looks like they may be moving a little bit more away from their accommodative state when it comes to monetary policy. We will see in the next coming days and maybe into next week what ends up happening, but they also have the outlook report coming out as well, and their monetary policy statement, which again, been negative rates for years now, and I highly doubt it's going to change at all on Thursday, but that'll be a big focus for Thursday as well. Looking at the U.S., we do have PCE, so that'll be the main focus, but you got prelim CPI coming out of Europe. You have a bank conference coming out for Bank of Japan, coming out for Japan over here. Let's see. Again, PCE, the main indicator for the Fed looking at inflation, that'll be coming out over here on Friday. So that'll be a big one. We'll get a nice move, I'm sure, on Friday. Employment cost index is coming out as well for the U.S. Personal income, personal spending, very important for any economy. Revised University of Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations, Chicago PMI. We got a lot of things coming out this week, and it's perfect because it's not like, what's it called, NFP, where you kind of wait all week and everything kind of ranges before that and all that stuff. No, we have a lot of stuff coming out throughout the week that we'll be paying attention to and should be giving us some nice moves, as it already has this morning during London. I saw Kyung took a really nice move on the 15-minute on GJ, which I'll point out in a second. Right off that support, right? Exactly what we've been talking about the past couple of weeks of how, price keeps bouncing off. It has been in that uptrend, and then also the trend within the trend on GJ, creating those higher lows and higher highs, but also holding the same support and retesting that support before bouncing up. So that's what he took advantage of this morning. So anybody have any questions when it comes to the economic calendar? You can either ask me or Serge, because Serge is a fundamental wizard.
No.
Yeah, Serge, what
Better they ask you, not me.
I know I've asked you this multiple times, but that website for the radio, I'm sorry, what was it again? I gotta save it here.
Financial source.
That's right.
What's the name?
Financial source.
Send it in the chat so you can have a look.
Let's see. I gotta save this. Oh, I guess I chose the wrong one. Beautiful. Yeah, I want to keep this obviously not during the live session, but when I'm working on my own, especially after the live session, I want to keep this on in the background and keep listening to this. So it looks like I already have it.
You need to pay for it, I think. You
That's
can't
fine.
listen for free.
Business expense, right?
Yeah, look, I think if you put, I remember if I can find, but before Kyung, when he was FTMO founded before, he gave me a link and you can get like 50% off. That's why I sign up and I'm paying like $60 or something instead of 120.
So you what's it called? You may get a benefit if you have a code over there for yours. So if you want to send your code.
No, I don't get anything because because they get a partnership with FTMO. If you FTMO founded, you can get discount on this terminal,
Oh, if you're FTMO funded. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I actually wasn't founded by FTMO. Kyung was for a bit. And he gave me a link, and I use that link. I can find that link and post it. And you put code, I think, FTMO 50. If it's works, then you can get it half price.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, I think even if not, and you're paying for a financial source, you should be able to go into your account and it says like invite or something like that, and you may be able to get some benefit. I want to see you get something.
I don't remember if they got affiliates or something.
Yeah, I mean it could be affiliate, but maybe they don't have a program like that. But it's more so just just sharing it, and then we get something off, and you also get a benefit as well. So it's worth looking into. All right, looking at the charts now. Our favorite part, right? Looking at the monthly here on GJ. I'm going to mark off 156 over here. Obviously, it's a very psychological and important level. I'm going to move all these things over here. Here we go. I'm going to move you guys over just a tad as well. Okay, so looking at the monthly here, and a little review of last week too, this monthly candle was all over the place. And last week we ended up tapping into 168, as we said would happen, right? And we got that retracement from 168, right? But now we have been pushing up today. We created that high last week. Now we pulled back, and now we look like we were continuing up. That was that trade that Kyung took. But right now that monthly is still sitting right below 168, right around 167,500. Right, so the question is, where are we going to go today? We don't have that much economic data coming out. It is Monday, beginning of the week, so maybe we get a move today, maybe not. But let's look at the weekly here and take a look at the wick that was formed last week. And ever since then, and also ever since bouncing off this area after the banking crisis that started off March, right? And we ended up getting this pullback all the way back down into 158 again. We ended up holding support at 158, right? And then we've been in this bullish trend ever since, right? So we've been very bullish, strong bullish candle close with a wick to fill. Did this candle, after that candle created that wick, did this candle end up filling that wick? Yes, right? So now we ended up tapping into 168. Is there a chance, not definitely going to happen, but is there a chance that we end up filling this wick up here with this candle? I'm sure there is. Right, doesn't mean it's definitely going to happen, but I'm sure at some point 168 is going to get tapped this week. Right, so 168 is holding a strong resistance, we may end up getting rejected again, as we have in the past. Or we may end up breaking right through it. And then where's our next area of interest? It's probably going to be 169 because we have rejected multiple times up here as well. Right. And then through that area, we got 172 that we could be tapping into. And then after that, we could start exploring what's above 172. What's that price action like to the left? We'll get there when we get there. But right now, we got consecutive bullish candles closing right there with a wick to fill the wick, bottom wick formed, created the wick over here. Now we got a small bottom wick just continuing up. Now, tell me what you guys see here on the daily. What formation is this? Or candle body closes? What does this tell you right here that we could possibly be getting? Anybody know? Triple B. And it's not the Better Business Bureau.
What's that?
What's what?
The better whatever you said.
Business Bureau. So it's a organization in the United States that rates businesses. Gives them like an A+ rating or something like that. Very similar to, I forget what they have in real estate. Real estate has something very similar, but triple B gives you that business rating of like, you know.
Okay, yeah, I think I've heard it before.
Okay,
Triple
cool. So what is
bullish
the
big
triple
belt.
B that we use in price action?
Bullish big belt.
There you go. So right now, even before the bullish big belt, we got a beautiful tap of 165,500, which is the first support that we've been holding since creating this new high up here. This is that order block that we've been sitting in right here and just holding that support right at 165,500. We create this high at 168 perfectly, right? We pull back, get a beautiful liquidity grab, snap back. It's like a rubber band. This candle did not flip bullish, but it closed a very weak bearish candle. Then all of a sudden, this candle ends up opening up about 20 pips below the close of this candle right here, right? Whenever you have that, and this candle is a strong bullish candle, a lot of times this candle, the next one ends up, you know, if that candle closes like that, next one gives you the bottom wick and continues right back up from there. Not all the time, but on the higher time frames, if you get a setup like this, that'll tell you that. Read Naked Forex if you want to learn more. We're looking at the 4 hour now. Looks like we're sitting right at that daily resistance right over here. We ended up tapping. How many times also do you see us tapping the candle body highs over here and then end up rejecting them at some point? Not saying that's definitely going to happen, but that could happen as well. But right now, that daily candle has been bullish all day, right? We're in the last session of the day right now. So we already created a bottom wick, passed the high of the previous candle, and shot up to these candle body highs. So that's your first hint that we could be exhausting from this area, trapping a lot of buyers from there, and you know, continuing a little bit back down or getting some kind of a retracement where this candle ends up closing. I would say something like this, right? You could very well end up get a close like that today to finish off the day. But right now we are creating higher lows and higher highs on the lower time frames. Look at this. So after tapping into this area, I think Hyung grabbed his move from down here earlier this morning. No, that was Friday. So I'll show you guys up here. But right over here, this was that support. And we've been seeing this on GJ for quite some time now. On the lower time frames too. What'd you guys get right down here? You had that support formed. We came right back down into that area, retested a high. Then you got this area right over here where price just kept coming up. And also, it also lined up with the, at this time, there you go. So that was the bullish trend that we were following the past couple of weeks here. Let's see. There you go. A bit thinner. So right over here, price tapped off this key area, held that support over here, and then continued up. Now look at it. Tapped off this area perfectly. If you guys go back and rewatch the session from last week, what did we say would happen when we came to the market on Friday and all this price action, none of this was here yet. Anybody remember? Serge, Quentin, I think you were on. Carlos, anybody? I know Precious was. Anybody remember what we were talking about? What would happen after price revisited this area? Damn, your memory's shot.
No.
No?
Close
All right. If you guys go back and rewatch the live, you'll see exactly what we're talking about, and that's one of the great benefits of having these lives on YouTube, that you could go back and rewatch and tell yourself, okay, you know, this is what we were going through. I already went through the entire session. Now let me plan out how I would have taken this trade by watching the whole live session, listening to Steph, all that stuff like that. That's a big benefactor of having those live sessions to go back and rewatch. Even me, I should be going back, and I do every once in a while now. Go back and rewatch these and take some notes of what we're talking about in there. But this is how you could predict how you could catch this move over here, because we said we would get this move. This is a little overextended. I could see either price pulling back from this area, getting a lower high and continuing down, or this is our support where we're now going to retest our high up at 168. And now look at where we're at, right? Beautiful bounce. I said if we get this 4-hour candle, because this 4-hour candle was bearish, and then it started retracing over here. I said if this candle ends up flipping bullish and closing bullish, the next 4-hour candle will create a bottom wick and pass the high of that candle, and that would be your trade. Right? So if you guys go back and rewatch that, go see. You'll see exactly that's exactly what I said. So now what you're seeing here is price came back to revisit this area, previous resistance, previous support right over here as well. We ended up closing above that area, creating that high, actually creating this high, pulling back into that area and getting that liquidity grab and bullish close. Bottom wick formed this morning, past the high of that candle, and we've been off to the races. Right, so we ended up tapping into 167,600 right here, that previous resistance, and now we're kind of retracing from there, but we may be pushing through that area to continue right back up. But we'll see if we even keep this area right there. All right. So this was Kyung's trade. Kyung played the same exact thing we've been seeing on the higher time frames. Price holding the support, get that order block in that area, create the high, pull back into the same area, get that strong close. He took it on the 15-minute, and this thing continued right back up into this area. All right, so now what we have is a strong bullish candle. This was that previous resistance that we rejected over here to continue down. And then we closed right at that same exact area, pushed into this area, rejected, closed bearish below that resistance, and now we got that strong bullish candle closing right through that area. So right now, I'm going to actually move this right here, and then we'll put 168 as that next target right there, but we'll see if that's even big enough. Yeah, you got about 30 pips in there, so you might be able to trade something in there, but I'd rather be able to grab this move from down here to see if we could grab this whole thing up. All right, but let's see what the 30-minute looks like. See, the 30-minute is interesting. Because we ended up holding, rejecting this area. We could be pulling back anywhere. This is our plan. We could pull back anywhere in this area right here and see if we can hold a support. And if we can, right, we're going to play exactly what we had here and here. We're going to play the same thing here to take this thing up and continue up. I just don't want to see anyone get trapped up here, but we're holding a very solid support right there, right? This was a beautiful bounce off that area. So, there could be a possibility where we come down into here to hold that support and then get that bounce off that area. Same thing that happened here, right? But like I said, I think anywhere in this area right here, price could be holding a support in here and then driving back up. Let's see. Just trying to see a few things here. Oh, I want to change this trend line because that trend line is not valid anymore. We have been in this trend within a trend, especially after bouncing off this previous support. That's definitely a valid support right there that we can hold. So we've been ever since, again, the banking fears over here from the end of March. Ever since then, we've been holding that support and creating higher lows and higher highs, right? So at any point, we could end up consolidating in here. Someone in the chat. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Serge. So that's a discount for Financial Source for you?
Yeah, that's what I sign up with, but I don't know if she's still working or not. But
Okay. Well, we'll check it out.
yeah,
Appreciate you sending. Just wanted to see you get something if you're sharing the word on it.
no, I don't get anything from it. I just
Okay.
give it a discount if it works.
Okay. See, right now what I want to do is I'm going to move this right here. I think that's more of a valid support, especially because that's our most recent support right over here. I know we have this resistance right over here that you could mark off because we have rejected that area in the past a few times. But I wouldn't be surprised if we pull through that area and then continue back up. But I can very well see us holding this support right here and continuing up from there. And that's about a 35. Yeah, 35 pip range that you could be taking if we can hold support there, retest that high to continue right back up. We shall see. We're sitting right above all these 3 EMAs over here as well, right? So you start to change the tide over here as we were continuing down, sitting below those EMAs, right? And now we're sitting right back above, holding that area of support. So we could pull back at any point and then continue up. Just make sure you're waiting for solid support to be formed on, the 30-minute, maybe the 15-minute. Keon could have very well taken this on the 30-minute as well. That would have been your first TP right up here, right? Retest that high perfectly. And then stop loss at break even and beautiful runner. Could secure another piece right up at that resistance as well. Let's see the 15-minute. See what he took. Yeah, look at that. You get the pullback into that area, weak bearish candle, another weak bearish candle, bouncing off that area, but still closing bearish, but weak. And then you wait for this candle to create its bottom wick, pass the high, and close like that. And you can enter after a close like that. That's a 4-to-1 risk to reward. So that's not bad. Now, what you see here is the 15-minute is actually holding support at that area. I just don't think it's strong enough. Unless this candle ends up holding the support, never passing low the previous candle and passing the high. It's just that this is like an intermediate break and retest because the high is right here, right? You need to wait for another strong close. I could see this candle breaking the low of that candle and pulling back even harder. But I don't think this would be an opportunity where I would try to take those sells. I would just be waiting for any kind of support to be formed here. Hopefully here, anywhere in this whole area, waiting for support to form to retest this high up here. And that creates a bigger range for you too. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. All right. On to gold. So gold, again, rejecting 2000, not enough fear in the market, right? We got some very mixed data last week. A lot has to do with GDP this week and PCE coming out on Friday. That'll be, obviously big when it comes to gold and where gold moves to. But right now we are sitting below 2000. As you guys know, very psychological level. Got our all-time highs up top here. And anywhere in this area, you could end up getting the rejection if there's not enough fear in the market. And that's what we're getting right now. Just a pullback. I'm ultimately bullish on gold, but for right now, it is pulling back. Looking at the weekly, you get 2 rejections now of actually 1 rejection, at least on the weekly, where we've closed below 2000 here. Right? This candle last week, Got that strong close of the wick to fill, get the high created, but still held 2000 as a support. And then you get the top wick form, flip bearish, and close bearish with a wick to fill right back at this area here. Right? So are we going to hold the support to continue to drive up through that area, or are we going to keep getting these retracements? As we've said, you know, gold is really what's it called? Really going to correct from this area if we don't get enough fear. So let's see what we end up getting with this week. But last week we did get that bearish close with the wick to fill. Daily candle on Friday also ended up closing bearish, holding that resistance right here. So we're going to keep 2000 marked off, very critical level. But this is that area that we've held the resistance in the past. Right here, hard rejection, and then multiple times over here in the past. And then you get the strong bearish candle close on Friday here below that support. So we were ranging pretty much all week for a little bit within this area. Not that there wasn't anything to catch, but we finally got that close below. Unlike this candle actually closed below with a wick to fill. So now what I'm expecting is most likely a resistance held here. If we can hold that resistance and then continue right back down to fill this area and maybe even continue back down into here. You guys form a channel right here as we've been going over. This is kind of that exhaustion up here, right? Price holding that bullish trend right over here, but it starts getting weaker once you end up getting this strong bearish candle close below that previous resistance. Ever since then, we've been creating a lower high and lower highs. So right over here, let's see if we can hold that resistance and maybe even continue to drive down. If not, we're going to fake this level out, hold support in this area, and maybe even continue up. Really depends on data towards the end of the week. So now in the 4 hour, obviously that's a very critical area. We're going to keep that there. But we also have this support right over here that's holding. So we're kind of rejecting this area here. Support right over here. Got that support right there and support right here. We just ended up rejecting with the last 4 hour candle, right? It looked like we were creating that resistance to possibly continue right back down, but we ended up holding this support right here and closing bullish, but with no top wick. This candle is kind of struggling to continue up, so we'll see what we end up doing there. But so far on the 4 hour, it looks like we're ranging within this area. And what are we going to have once we break that area? Once we break that support, what do we have to the left there? Everyone see it?
Yeah, clean moves.
Clean move. That's what I want to take advantage of, especially on the 4 hour. Most likely that looks nice on the lower time frames too. All right, so all you got to do is wait for that close below this area. Depending on, you know, this gets if you're a little bit more advanced and comfortable with this, but depending on what the setup looks like over here, let's say you get that strong bearish candle close right at this level, but it didn't close below, maybe you might be able to take advantage of the breakout to continue down. But the best thing to do is wait for the close below. All right, so now we can adjust this right over here. A little choppy in here. But actually just put that there for now. Right now we are ranging, right? We created that higher low over here, but right now we're holding this resistance right in here. We had that previous consolidation over here that we got on Friday, got trapped over here, top wick formed, broke the low, continued down, then we ended up retesting that level and just kind of ranging until then. So far we're still holding that resistance, but we are holding higher lows too. All right, we created a higher low here. See the 30-minute. This is interesting. Gold is something I don't really want to touch right now. Gold, again, you got to understand the main move, and the main moves are going to be happening maybe Tuesday, but more so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is where you're going to want to trade gold. This week right now, specifically the way GJ moved this morning during London, GJ might be the one that you want to focus on for now, right? So right now we ended up potentially getting a little fake out right here. even though I don't really want to touch anything here, it's just, again, pointing out what we could be seeing. We ended up getting a fake out there and a resistance held at that previous resistance right here with that bearish candle. Then we get the bullish candle holding the support. And now this candle is so far holding a resistance in that area. So maybe if you wanted to, I could see maybe waiting for a close below this level and then price possibly continuing down at least into here. But again, it's very choppy in here. It's very difficult for anyone to take a trade right there. Let's go back up to the higher time frame. 4 hour. Yeah, that 4 hour candle closed a strong bullish candle, just no top wick. So not enough range. Right now, this 4 hour candle is bearish, holding that resistance. So it could be another lower high here, right? Could be another lower high that we could be getting something like this over here, something in here, where we just keep holding this resistance and maybe continuing down. But that's the range that you want to trade in, and maybe we'll get that this week with maybe high PCE, right? Anything when it comes to high inflation, we could be getting a pullback coming down into this area. Because remember, that's going to signal towards the Fed to increase rates, strengthen the dollar, push gold down. We all clear on gold? Sydney, do you have any questions so far? You all good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Awesome.
Just
Everything's
diving
great.
in today.
Just what?
Just diving in today. Just listening to you.
Taking everything in, marking up your own charts. Best thing you could do right now is mark your own chart up right now and kind of compare what you're seeing here.
I
Oh
got
no,
a
US
question.
30. What's that?
I got a question because I saw that you're using moving averages now. Is that new?
No,
Or?
even when you came in, I had those on my chart. This is just something I keep in the background. That it just gives you that extra support, that extra resistance to know what the average moving price is. You're not seeing me, again, you see these moving averages?
Yeah.
You know how people have strategies where if these things cross right over here, you're taking that sell? You're not seeing me do that. I'm still trading basic price action, but we keep these on the chart in the background, low opacity. I actually want to lower the opacity on this even more because it is
Just to see the trend?
yeah, it helps you with the trend. Helps you understand where the trend is, especially like sometimes we do take counter trend trades. And it kind of stops you sometimes from taking that trade if it's not a good idea. Make sense?
And which one are you using?
So we're using the 10, the 50, and the 200
Okay.
EMA.
Okay, perfect.
So again, it's just a little extra support for you to understand where the market's going, especially if you have issues with taking counter trend trades, which I don't really have, but it's always kind of been a nice thing to keep in the background of my chart, but it's not a strategy. It's not anything that I implement. It's something that if you look at the checklist that I give you guys, it's something that you guys can check. Actually, Precious does not have this just yet. So let me just give this to you guys. Precious, you there?
Yes.
Awesome. I'm sending this into the general chat for you. It's just a nice
Okay.
checklist that we'll go over on your private Zoom, but this is just something that you could go over. But one thing that I have on here is you can always look, and this goes for any what's it called? This is valid for any kind of system that you're trading. Doesn't really matter. This is just a checklist that you can go through before taking a trade. One of them on here is I say like, where are your EMAs? Just to give yourself that idea before taking any counter trend trade or any indicator that you utilize, which we don't.
Okay.
All right. So it's just something that you could save on your computer. Okay, US 30. of course. US 30, again, holding that support around like 32,500, 600, right? We ended up grabbing liquidity over here, flipping bullish and closing a strong body with a wick to fill. Small bottom wick, past the high of that candle, tapped into this area. But as you guys know, we're very bearish, or have been bearish on the DAX, or not DAX, I keep calling it DAX, the Dow, and price could be holding that resistance to continue down, but we'll see. Especially, you know, heading into the rest of this year, we're expecting a recession, so we'll see what we end up getting. But last week, we actually called this as well, that price would be holding that resistance in this key area over here, right? Especially after that liquidity grab, I think was on Wednesday. We ended up getting that grab and closed below the current resistance. And now we're just kind of ranging within this area over here. But if you look at this, kind of fake this level out, got that strong bullish candle close, continue up into this area, and now we just got our first bearish candle close right in this area, right? But now looking at this candle, we passed the low of that candle, and now we're starting to flip bullish over here. So are we holding a support anywhere in this area to continue up? Looking at the daily now, Friday ended up getting that, you know, a little pullback and bullish close right back in this previous resistance area. You have our resistance right here. And again, price kind of faked this level out. Whoop. Price kind of faked this level out right here. Got that strong close, bullish form. Higher low being formed over here, high created. We pulled back into this area, which I may actually end up adjusting this support into. But right now, we've really been ranging in here. And this was the candle I was saying that we got that confirmation that we could be pulling back a little bit over here, right? After we created that high and then pulled back and closed below this area again. So now looking at the 4 hour, and we just adjust. Got that resistance formed right there. We keep holding this support right in this area. Keep holding this support. You can really draw this like that, right? Where we held that resistance right there, kept coming into that support, bounced into that area again, bounced in, and then again, that huge rally from that area over here, right? But right now, we're just kind of consolidating in this area. So far in the 4 hour, it looks like you'll have safest buys maybe above that area, or even safer above 34,100, but above 33,850 over here. Now we're starting to change structure, right? We're holding the support, could be closing above that area, holding support right there and continuing back up. But right now we are getting that bounce, which I like, that strong bullish candle close in the 4 hour with a wick to fill the wick, continuing up. So I could see it's definitely coming into this area. All right. So right now, again, strong bounce off this area. US 30 keeps giving us, right? Bounce, all these bounces right over here as well. Being that we have been creating these lower highs over here, right? It's very difficult to take these buys. You'd be counter trend trading. We are sitting above all these EMAs over here, but could anybody see us creating like a lower high anywhere in this area here? To then maybe continue back down to that support? Maybe get another bounce, but I could definitely see a lower high being formed at any point, especially being that this move right here could be a little overextended, right? It's due for a pullback, especially in a bearish trend. This is where a lot of people get trapped, where they start buying up here to grab this area, then you get the resistance formed and price pulls right back down. Looking at the 30-minute, 30-minute actually did give you a little pullback here, which is good. So we got that little high created, pull back into the area and continue up. But again, like I said, we just keep creating these higher, lower highs. And at any point, you could be getting something like that. But I wouldn't be taking any kind of sells. Till we start to break below here. Like once we start to get into here, you know that we could be coming back into this order block. Where price holds this support over here, fairly clean move to the left over here that you can mirror. Obviously, there's some take profits that you got to secure at, but once we break below that area, then you got a cleaner move as far as sells are concerned. Also, what you could be looking for too, we actually got this kind of recently, is last time price bounced off this area and got that, pullback, right? We got the high created and a higher low formed right here to continue up. What do we get right over here? Nice impulsive move, higher low formed to continue up. And then what did we get? Kind of like a double top up here. We kept rejecting, lower high nonetheless, and price then continued down from there. So this is something that you could potentially wait for in US 30 right here. And then maybe you could take this sell down and grab this same exact move right there. Anyone else see that? So it's just playing the price, understanding the history, and doing the same exact thing you ended up getting in the past. This area, I'm actually going to make this very thin because it's very minor. But you do have this area right over here that you may be able to get some sells in if price can close below that area to continue down. You're already seeing some kind of a rejection. Doesn't mean sell yet, right? Just want to wait for something possibly like this to form right here and take that down. Okay. Now we're getting close to. Also, look at the daily over here. Previous daily closed bullish, right, on Friday. Then you get this liquidity grab. This thing's flipping bullish as well. So keep an eye on that. And we've been very bullish since down here. This is why we go up to the higher time frames after breaking down the lower time frames. But you could very well be getting this higher low formed anywhere in this area. And what did I say last week? Last week I said we could potentially come into 34,000 again, hold that resistance once more, and then continue right back down towards the end of May or mid-May, somewhere around that area. Didn't get much sleep this week then. All right, looking at GJ now, we're getting close to 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, still holding that support right now. Looking at the 30-minute. 30-minute, 15-minute did exactly what we said, right? That was not going to hold a significant support just yet, especially with the way this candle was pushing down. But this candle did hold support by closing above that area, right? It did create a resistance by closing bearish, but it also held support by closing right there. Now we get the liquidity grab, bullish flip, bullish close. Can the next candle continue right back up from here at 8 o'clock? But that would mean that the 1 hour candle is closing bearish. So just keep that in mind too. It just depends on how strong it closes. 30-minute might be closing bullish right here. See, this is more of a range. This looks like more of the move during London that Kyung took. Now this is you got to really make sure price is actually continuing up to grab this move up, because this move could very well not have a runner and continue to consolidate for the rest of the day. That's why you don't want to get FOMO over missing this move, watching this thing play out or not play out, trying to take the buy and get greedy, and then all of a sudden you lose a trade to start off the week. Remember, every week is a new beginning for you, right? So you want to build confidence. Same thing with starting a new account. Same thing with starting a new month. Same thing with starting a new year. It's all almost like a reset. So you want to be able to come to the market and build confidence on Monday. Stack a smart decision. What's the best decision that I can make this morning? And then go with that. It's like a gold holding that resistance, right? What do we say? Minor fake out. If we can hold that resistance, I could see us maybe continuing down. Do I want to take that today? Maybe not, but let's see. Actually, I do like that 1 hour. That 1 hour candle closes like that. I could see the next one creating a top wick, passing the low, and at least coming down into here. If that's the case, and we get the continuation of this candle right here, that daily will have us a good top wick at least, and continue right back down. I don't know if that's going to happen yet because this thing is a little bullish. You see the 4 hour. 4 hour candle did close bullish right there as well. 8 o'clock, 1 hour candle closed bearish, but it kind of closed above that area. I do like this strong top wick, the bearish flip with the wick to fill. Only way I would take this is if we get a strong top wick, which it already has, and pass the low of that candle. And maybe I would definitely lower my risk on that. Again, start of the week, 1% trade. Try to get 1% under your belt. And then you have room for error for the next trade. If you risk 2% and you lose 1.5 to 2%, now you're like, okay, I'm down 2%. Obviously easy to make back, but it's still, something that you may be like 1.5 to 2% in drawdown for the week, and you got to make that back with the next trade, and that's where your psychology could start going all over the place. Okay, that's gold. See how we're flipping bearish there? I'm gonna get this ready. I think this. Let's see the risk to reward here. It's definitely 2 to 1, 2.3 to 1. If you put your stop loss above here, if you look at the 30-minute, my stop loss would be above this 30-minute candle right there. And I would look to aim for this move right there. Anybody looking at this as well? Just going to risk. Yeah, there we go. I'm in. Again, 1% for me. I can just secure down here. This trade, I need to journal. I'm looking for this daily candle to start flipping bearish and continuing down. I'm looking for the volume to give us what we need. April 23rd to April, most likely 27th, 2023. Short. Next you. Is everyone in here? Need your thoughts here. Well, I don't need, but I would like your thoughts.
Looks all right, because on a 1 hour it's like creating these wicks.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much all of the time frames are lining up. We're getting the volume. Well, we should be getting the volume. At this time, we normally get good volume. We waited for the 1 hour to close. Let's see. Daily. Only thing that I don't like is the fact that the 4 hour candle closed the way it did. I just like the fact that it did have no top wick, or it didn't have a top wick. It gives me a little bit more confidence, but this 4 hour candle may need to close somewhere around that area. This trade could take a while because I could see the next one creating a top wick and passing the low of this one, and then it continues down. Odds in my throat.
Yeah, Monday a bit slow.
Yeah.
So,
Also, we got the COMEX open at 8:20.
yeah, that's a kind of lottery as well.
What's that?
Comex is like a lottery, you know.
Oh
You
yeah,
don't
right,
know where it goes.
right. Okay, so we ended up getting a liquidity grab. One, three grab and strong. Bearish.
Under each specific trade that was mixed, given the
Also a fake out on the 30-minute. Two resistance held with close. But the reason why I put my stop loss all the way up here is so I have plenty of room to manage this trade, right? Like we're holding this resistance and it could very well not play out, but we got a clean move to the left, strong bearish candle, flip and close with a wick to fill, top wick formed, past below the previous candle. We could be continuing down, but I'm not going to put my stop loss above this wick. There are certain times to do that in a bearish trend where, you know, you get that strong bearish close, top wick form, past low, you could put your stop loss somewhere over here. But with this setup, it's not smart to do so. And it's also not smart to risk a lot on this either. What's up, Lewis?
Morning, man.
How was your weekend, man?
It was great. It was good, man. Great. What about you?
It was very good. Had my
Your
in-laws
in-laws, I
up.
think. Yeah.
So we had a fun weekend. Paul Symphony after top with past. What'd you do?
Saturday I watched the fight with
Yeah,
a
what'd you
couple of
think?
friends. Well, I watched both. I watched the UFC fight and the boxing fight, and I think both were really good, man.
I didn't watch the UFC card, but I did see the highlights of the Garcia fight. I've been
Oh,
too
the boxing
locked in
fight?
for the what's up?
You saw the highlights of which fight?
The Garcia fight.
Oh, okay. What do you think?
I mean, I wasn't too surprised. I do like Garcia a lot, but I don't know. Tank Davis just seems like he's a bowling ball. He's like Tyson, but like in a smaller weight class.
Yeah.
He's got too much power. I mean, Garcia is very fast, but he's got the length. He's got the length and he's got the speed, but Davis is just like a beast. They're both undefeated, or they were.
So what you do Saturday?
Saturday. What did we do Saturday? We went out to dinner. Got yeah, we got some dinner and it was like very shitty out. So we ended up going back and to our place and we had some drinks and watched The Departed. You ever see The Departed?
Oh, dude, that movie is amazing, bro.
It's my second
classic.
favorite movie of all time.
What's your first?
Gangs of New York.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Both Scorsese movies. Precious, looks like he has a question.
Yes, sir.
What's up, buddy?
Okay, please, this 30 minutes time frame. Like, if you look to the left, is there a clean range? Or are you taking the
This
sales?
isn't exactly. This is not a clean range. That's why this is only a 1% trade. So it's based on the price, more so based on the price action here than having the clean range. This is the clean range that you want right over here. And also this is the clean range that you want to be trading in. So I'm looking forward to taking this down, but this would be a 2 to 3% trade depending on the setup over here. This is high risk, high reward. so that I could get the early move and hopefully hold a runner all the way to this support and then maybe grab this entire thing. And you could maybe hold this over the rest of the week, especially with the way the daily last week closed below this support finally. Right? You see that candle? Strong close below that support with the wick to fill. Top wick formed on this
Yeah.
candle. It already has flipped bearish and, you know, created that low down there and then retraced. But now we could very well end up breaking our own lows over here to then continue down the rest of the week. You guys look at price right now. You see why it was smart not to have my stop loss up here? Because gold likes to pull back a little bit, right, before continuing down. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
So this trade was really based on this fake out right here on the 30-minute. And it was also based on this close right there. And I'm not going to take it right at the close because it closed at support right there. I'm going to wait for the top wick to form, pass the low, put my stop loss safely up here. I'm not going to, you know, panic during the trade or anything like that. I'm just going to let it sit in my drawdown. I'm not, you don't panic in drawdown. There's certain times to manage risk, but don't be afraid of being in drawdown either. I'm looking for a 1-to-1 here. This is my main TP, which is around 1.75 risk to reward. So it's a little bit more than 1-to-1, which actually looks like a lot more than that, doesn't it? Yeah, I guess that there you go. That's your 2-to-1 right here. Is these wicks over here. I'm just looking for the 1-to-1 on a Monday, looking to grab my pips, get out of the market. Thank you very much. So now what I would do right over here, we ended up getting that push. Let's see, when did this push end up happening? 809 and 810 ended up giving us a little volume here. So that's something I'm going to write down on Trello here. I'm not writing my my full thing yet, but just taking quick notes about the trade. It's 11. I'm gonna take a picture of the 15-minute. I like the way the 15-minute held resistance, strong bearish close as well. Just got lightheaded. Oof. Guys, I had the most disturbing dream I think I've had in a long time last night. Still thinking
Or
about it.
were you falling off like a cliff or something?
No, worse. What's it called? We went back to for some reason I was back at Kane playing football in college. And we were in like the main gym, the arena that we had or have, and you know, doing work and stuff like that. And I just like feel a little bit older. I feel a little bit slower than most of the other kids that are like 18, 19, 20 years old at that point. For some reason I was back playing football there. And I go to the locker room. What's up? Anyway, I go to the locker room, and the locker room is like way bigger. Like it's huge. It's humongous. And for some reason it's co-ed too. So there's girls in there. And all of a sudden, like we just get started like rounded up, right? By Russian soldiers. And we're like prisoners of war. And all of a sudden, like the men have to like get their, you know, uniforms on and their weapons and everything like that. But we're just getting around, like we can't even fight back. We're just basically getting thrown into these different gauntlets where we have to dodge bullets and everything and bombs. It was crazy. It felt so real. I know,
That's
right?
crazy.
Out
From
of
playing
nowhere,
football
like,
to yeah, right. From playing football to shooting Russians.
yeah, it was weird.
Maybe it was a movie you watched, bro.
Departed? I don't know. Although I will tell you this, it's fun watching The Departed with people that have never watched it before. You've seen it, right?
Yeah.
Do you
What
remember it?
your in-laws didn't hadn't watch it or what?
No, they haven't watched it. My wife has seen it
What?
before, but she forgot about the ending. So it was just fun sitting on the couch watching the reactions to everything. It's just like a different thing happens like over the course of maybe 10, 15 minutes that you just don't expect, and it's fun watching.
No, I haven't watched in like 10 years, but I can clearly remember what happens because it was such a
Okay.
good movie. Yeah.
Do you remember what happens at the very end?
Mm, hold on, let me think about it. I know for sure the informant gets shot.
So you can go back, I think on YouTube, I'm sure you could find like the last
I probably should just watch it again, to be honest.
oh
Sorry.
it's worth it. Let me see.
Yeah.
Last
Where
20
do you watch it? What is
minutes.
it's on Netflix or what?
It's on HBO Go or HBO Max.
Mm.
Let me see if this is on here. Wait, I can't show it on here.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I would just
How
go
big
back and
how,
rewatch the whole thing.
how big is your stop loss? Like how many pips?
This stop loss is around 28 pips.
Okay.
1 hour so far lining up, 4 hours really making that push. Like I said, the only thing I don't like is the possibility that the 4 hour, like this setup may take a while to play out because I could see the 4 hour closing like this and then getting the same setup I just got on the 1 hour on the 4 hour, where the 4 hour pulls back into here, creates that top wick, and then passes the low and then continues down later on. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think safe sells or like safer sells are?
Below here,
Like
1974. You have
Yeah.
this move right over here you might need to worry about, but you could always target that if you get a nice setup right around this area. You could target that as your first TP, but other than that, you got this whole move here. If you want to see it on the 4 hour, see that? Clean move.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, 817. I'm thinking, there we go. I'm gonna take 50% off, or maybe 40%.
Why are you at a 1-1, right?
Not yet, but again, this is Monday, and I'm just looking to grab my pips. But the Comex
Mm.
Open is opening it in 3 minutes here, and we're just right at this support right here. So I ended up taking off a piece. Right there as soon as we tapped into that support, because I don't want to get taken out and then continue down. Now, if we get some kind of a resistance, or maybe at 9 a.m. when the 4 hour closes, I can re-enter this if I'm convinced with it. Because again, when we were first breaking this chart down, I was saying I may be staying out of gold today. I didn't like the way it was forming. But after this fake out and then we got this close over here, I was starting to like it, especially after the top wick form past the low. That made me like this trade. Only 40% at 30 pips. And now this one I'm just gonna hold 15 pips. Keeping my stop loss there too. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
The risk to reward is off a little bit, but if we didn't get that Comex open, because I've been getting hit by that a couple of times, and now after I'm writing about it over and over and over again, now I'm learning from it. Well, 30-minute closed. 40%. That's 15 pips before Comex. Now, what time did that push down? You get that push at 8:17. After 8:17 a.m. push and before. All right, 8:20. 8:17 volume. So I'm just keeping note of when those little volume pushes are happening. See how we're pulling back here at 8:20? Again, stop loss in its original place, so I'm not gonna, micromanage this thing or move it to break even just yet. That'd be kind of stupid. But it's pulling back right there. That's why I secured a little bit right there. Like that, Serge?
Yes, that's fine. As I said, COMEX is always, a lottery. Sometimes it's pushing down, sometimes it's pushing up. So
Yeah, look at this. That's coming back into drawdown a little bit. If it passes the high of this candle right here, I don't know, because COMEX typically it's pushing in one direction, opens, pulls back, and then continues back down. So I don't want to micromanage this.
How come you didn't put your stop loss at break even?
Just because that would have been micromanaging it. That would have been it would have been pushing it like it would have automatically gotten stopped at break even. So right here, let me see. Hold on 1 second. See, right now, if I'm looking at the lower time frame here, the 5 minute. What I'm looking to see is if you look at this range right here, we ended up breaking that range, right? And creating this low. What I could see happening is a lower high being formed right here. That's what I want to see. Lower high formed, and then we could continue this thing down. See how it's pulling back over here? Holding this resistance. So let's watch this 5 minute close, and hopefully this 5 minute closes below this area. If it closes above this area, then I can take some a piece off. This if this plays out and this continues down, that was a great highlight. Because it did exactly what we said it would happen. COMEX pushes it up, pulls back hard, and then continues down. Not every time, but almost. I think, did Precious have a question? Or did he? Oh, he already asked it. That's right. So no, this is a good thing to take a picture of. Carlos, you with me? Carlos?
Yo, my bad. I was just with my dog. I'm sorry. What's up?
I was just seeing if you were good.
Oh yeah, all good. Yeah, my dog came and tried to interrupt me and whatnot.
It's all good. Wow, I think my dog just heard your dog. And that's why he's barking. Yep. He's freaking out up there. So you see how didn't do that. You see how the this 1 minute candle just tapped into that area and held a resistance and is holding right there. Now we're holding a higher low right there, but if we close above this area, I think that's where I'll close 50%. Actually, depending on this setup, I may close the full thing, but But the thing is, what I did was I closed 40% down here. I have some room to play. I was able to grab, this isn't so much like for profit. It's more so like in case price pulls back, I now have room to manage risk and I'm not losing anything that I had previously. Does that make sense? I know everyone's so fixated on, oh, there we go. See how it's holding that resistance so far? You're so fixated on, trying to make money on each trade, which is very important. But depending if you're taking risky setups like this, it's good to be able to take a little piece off over here so you can manage where price is going to go over here and not lose too much. So now it's pushing up over here. I don't like this. The 5-minute close. So the 5-minute close above that area with a wick to fill. So right now at this point, I'll take off another piece. I'll take off 50% again. And now I'll just let it run. And I could possibly re-enter at any point. So I took it off 1984.02. So this is more of like an experimental trade. After 5-minute closed above 1983. Now, if it hits my stop loss, it's fine. I barely lose anything. Like I said, these were the high risk, high reward sells from this area, right? I could see it holding that resistance, but high risk, high reward sells. And then these are going to be the safe sells to continue down. I was trying to see if I could grab a piece of the move to continue down. Piece of the move up here so that I can, maybe scale in on the way down or, take my main sell, my 2 or 3% sell down here. Make sense?
So were you profitable in this trade, or did you lose more than when you gained?
I lost. Well, the trade's not over yet, so I'll let you know when I'm done.
Oh, you still haven't closed the full thing?
No, I only closed 50% up here. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Then I might be
okay.
able to re-enter. 50% after 5-minute closed above 1983. This is the 30-minute. 30-minute. 27. So this whole thing, I was saying, could take a little bit longer than I expected, and it might be best to wait for this 4-hour candle to close, because the 4-hour candle may create that top wick and then continue down. But, I'm following the bearish structure. I'm following the trend. I'm following specifically the daily over here as well. All right, we closed below that support with a wick to fill. At some point, we should be continuing down. It may take a while because, again, the main focus of the week is coming later on in the week. And again, if we get high PCE, high inflation, this thing should continue down. So this right now, where price is, could end up ranging for a little bit before getting this move down. But the best thing to do would probably maybe just be wait for that close below this area, because then you're holding this resistance right here. And you're getting this double top right here. And once you get that close below here, could be able to continue down. Not only retest this low, but retest this low. Make sense, guys?
Yeah.
There might be an opportunity for a re-entry, but not till after the 4-hour. I wouldn't re-enter this till after the 4-hour. 15-minute 829.
So for a reentry, you would wait what for like a closure underneath 1975, I guess.
It would more so, yeah, probably be below 1981 right here, where I managed risk or where I took off 40%.
Oh, and then you will enter again?
What was that?
And then you will enter again. You wouldn't wait until 1975, like if it closes underneath that area.
Well, I would definitely re-enter down here. Depending on the setup that we get down here, if we could close below that, that'd be my main trade. That's my main trade. This is only a 1% trade. This would be a 2 or
Oh, okay.
3% trade.
I see.
Always got to know when to risk what. Super important. Now, being that the 15-minute closed above that 1983 area, right there, normally I'd be managing risk because the 15 closed like that. But I've already managed risk enough. There's no point of doing that anymore. And even when I risked 1% on this full trade, I was fully okay losing the 1% if we hit my stop loss like right away. I'd be pissed, but at the same time, you got to be fully okay with what you risk. But now I already cut 40%, and now I cut another 50%. What would be the point of doing that? You know, especially when we're still holding this resistance and we had this fake out right here, could very well be creating that lower high here to continue down. Let's see, US 30 over here. US 30 is just really ranging. I'm not going to be touching US 30 right now. I only want to look for clean moves on US 30. Now, GJ held that support. 30-minute gave you the wick to fill. Still continuing up. Again, the 1 hour candle closed very strongly. This candle held support. 4 hour looks great to continue up. But we keep the range from where entry rate is right now to this resistance right here is too short. It's too small. It's not big enough. Like your stop loss would have to be somewhere down here. Take profit up here. That's only a 1-to-1, and you get all this price action to the left. So I'm not too intrigued by that just yet. Gotta be very careful on Mondays. If you do what I told you to do last week, where you go back and look at where each day gives you and your pairs, typically a lot of ranging. Cindy's back.
Yes.
Quinn, what are your plans today?
It's 7:30. I'm gonna have dinner
Oh.
and then nothing much after that.
It's 7:30 p.m. over there?
Yeah.
He's in
Oh,
Vietnam.
fuck.
Yeah,
Holy shit,
no,
that's a lot.
I went to the gym this morning, and so I have a pool right next to the gym, and I wanted to go to the pool afterwards, but it was closed this morning, so I'm hoping tomorrow morning it will be open, because we have like this pool has the sun only in the morning, so I'm gonna try to go at the gym at 7 a.m. and then hit the pool real quick.
Nice.
Is it like a lap pool or like a, play around pool?
Oh, it's a very nice one. Like not all the way up top on the roof, but there's like a middle rooftop
I know what you mean.
at like seven floors, the 7th floor, something like that.
Nice.
Have you met any chiquitas over there, bro?
Not yet. Haven't been out too much because the past 3 weeks, like work was like maybe 10% of my time. So right now I got into a nice apartment, and so I'm getting back onto work. And it's a mess to like move into that city. Like if you don't have like a scooter, or if you don't take a grab taxi or a scooter grab, you can't go anywhere. So I've only been like just around my apartment building, just eating stuff here and there, but haven't been properly visiting the city yet.
Mm.
I like to hear that. Getting back into your work.
I'm trying to buy a bike actually.
Are you?
Yeah.
Like a motorcycle or like a
Yeah,
bike?
I'm in a motorcycle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because that's like actually the very best way to tour around the country.
Okay. And then you would sell it when you're leaving.
Yeah, yeah. So I would buy it here in like Saigon, Ho Chi Minh in the south, and sell it up in the north in Hanoi.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
Now, how long were you planning on spending in Vietnam?
2 months.
2 months. Wow. So that's your stationary spot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so I'm
shit.
thinking about like just moving on the weekends. So like staying 1 week in every place so I can
Mhm.
work during the week and use like 1 day to travel, get to a new place during the weekend, so either Saturday or Sunday, and get back to work in the new place. And I just have my mornings to like go out and do stuff in the country.
Mhm.
So just like work out and then go do some things. And like the time I used to wake up in Paris is like noon here.
True.
So I would almost like I start my working day at like 11. So I have like from the moment I wake up, so maybe I wake up at 7 these days. So from 7 to 11 I can do whatever I want, and then I tend to work like right now I'm going to be working until I go to bed.
Love it. Have you found any like French people, anyone from Europe, Americans over in
He's
Vietnam?
been
Oh no,
he's been
I
swiping
have
left
seen a lot
now.
of Australians.
Oh, okay. That
Yeah.
makes sense. That makes sense. Lewis, were you asking something?
I said that Quinn has been swiping left over there.
What? Left means right and right means left?
No, I mean he's on Tinder swiping left and right.
Oh, sure, yeah. He's hunting. He's on the hunt.
Yeah, I'm supposed to have a date on Wednesday, I think.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
there you go.
There you go.
With Vietnamese chick or
Out
what?
Thank you.
an Indian place.
Wait, what
Is
you
that-
said?
That girl, like, she told me she knew a nice Indian restaurant, so I'm gonna go and meet her there.
Nice.
Yeah, hopefully.
You gotta.
She's from there. She's from Vietnam.
Yeah, she is, but not from this very city, but she's from here.
But she speaks English, though.
Yeah, she does.
So most people speak English over there, or what?
Not really.
Oh shit.
It's been pretty hard. Like every time I go out to get something to eat, like if you go into like a very proper restaurant, they're gonna speak English. But I go a lot and eat like the street food, which is like it's so amazing. You set up on those small plastic tables right off the street, and you eat from those stands, and so that's like amazing to do, but they don't speak a word of English except like hello and thank you. They don't know anything else.
Wow.
So I'm trying my best to learn like a couple words of Vietnamese to say what I want, especially like I don't eat pork, so I've learned how to do like without pork.
Mm.
But yeah. And like the language is like Chinese, the intonation changes the meaning of the word. So that's pretty hard.
There you go, Sydney. FO is
That's
fake
coming
out.
back down, bro. Coming back down to your entry.
Yep. Yeah, I'm iffy about this one. Or I guess you could say that is kind of a weird term, but just from that support at 1974, we have been creating these higher lows, right? Been creating higher lows. We tapped into this area, created another higher low. So I'm just wondering if like gold does want to actually pull back over here to then continue down later in the week. But it's giving me confidence, especially this is Sydney, perfect example. You got that 200 EMA over here. We're sitting right below it. We ended up closing below that 50 EMA here on the 15-minute right there. We pulled back into the range. This is exactly what I said would happen. If you guys rewind this live stream, or if we were to do so, you would see me talk about the COMEX open, pulling back into this range, holding that lower high, and then continuing down. Right? So again, the fake out up here, the fact that we keep holding this resistance, now we're getting this lower high, gives me confidence that we're now gonna reverse these higher lows in this range and continue down from here. But I'm not confident enough to re-enter this just yet. I need to see a better setup, cleaner setup, and most likely I'm just going to wait for the 4-hour to close and create its top wick to see that, because this is really a 4-hour range right here. It's a riskier trade, but it's one that I'm comfortable enough taking to start off a week with 1%. I used to not just touch these at all. Now, you know when to touch them, you know what to risk, and so on and so forth. No top wick on the actual candle. This one right here.
Yes.
I mean, I agree with you because there's barely a top wick, but there is a small top wick there. Like, it's not like this candle closing with no top wick at all. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, technically, I wouldn't consider this a top wick, but at the same time, I would say, okay, at least it did pull back a little bit to continue down. But even if it didn't have a top wick, right, and we're getting that candle close, it's still giving you like extreme bullish or bearish momentum. Like, it's just pushing from the open. But I don't like the fact that if you're looking at just the price action, we got the fake out right here with this candle closed right there. Then you get a support formed from that area. This candle failed to close below. Support formed again or held. This candle closed above that level. This candle pushed all the way into that part where I secured, and then closed above that level as well. So I need to see this candle close below that level. Make sense? This is still a strong support. It's a high risk, high reward sell that I could see taking, which I did, but it still needs to show me more. Let me take some more screenshots. Okay, so that's the 30 minutes. So let's come back a little bit. 8:42 a.m. 15-minute. Best Mudia. Minute. Lewis, how you feeling going into this week?
It's good, man. Good.
Oh. And showing up every day. It's been awesome. Seeing you get your momentum going. Getting
I'm
serious.
trying to get more back testing sessions under my belt too this week than last week.
There you go. Now it's good if do you have 2 screens at home or just one?
I have a laptop and then two. So I have 2 laptops and a screen. So I technically have 3.
Okay. Good thing for you guys to do, especially if you have 2 screens, is for the most part, if you're doing work at home, having the simulator going on in the background and just watching it every now and then, pressing play on the simulator, playing it in real time, maybe times 2 or 3, and letting that happen. But also very important for you guys to dedicate an hour or 2 to specifically watching that and backtesting through a few sessions. You got to do that too, right? So there's passive backtesting, but then also very active backtesting as well. But it's good to have the simulator running in the background while you're doing work, multitasking a little bit. But it's also very important for you actually pay attention to it specifically and look for, look at the different time frames and stuff like that. You could play it a little bit faster too if you want to look for the next setup. But that's what I like to do.
Yeah, I gotta get a Windows, bro.
Oh, you got Max?
Yeah.
Let's see. Now, I know I said I already secured, some, and I could just let this hit my take profit or my stop loss. But I am thinking that if we end up getting like a close like this or some kind of a setup like this right in here, I could just close the full thing. Because then again, that's like, that is money right there that I can be taking back and using that on the next trade or, using it for the next loss. If you know what I'm saying, that I can manage risk and use that to keep my account where I want it. So it's, doesn't really make sense if we're going to start closing above this area to just hold this and let it hit my stop loss when I know there's a great chance that I could. But I am giving it this chance and not micromanaging and letting this thing hold that resistance right there to continue down. Yeah, like I said, what I would like to see happen too is the 4-hour close below this previous 4-hour resistance right there. Right. So at 9 o'clock, can we close below this area over here? Right. That means we complete the 4-hour fake out. Next one creates a top wick, flips bearish, and continues down from there. But again, we are 4-hour range trading, I guess you could say. Here we go. 15-minute. So far, respecting the high of the previous candle right here. Maybe you could fill that wick. Created a wick to fill too. Is a lot weaker of a candle. So if this candle ends up flipping bullish and closing above that area, then we got to think twice about that. But let's see what we get. Quinn, you reach out to Jamie?
Yeah, I sent him like a request to be friends on like like to follow him on Instagram.
Oh, there you go. Crazy how long John Jones has been fighting Lewis.
Yeah, bro. I remember I used to watching him way back in the day in high school, bro. You see that guy Sergey? Uh, he just fought this Saturday this weekend.
I didn't see him. How do you do?
He's this big ass. He's a heavyweight division, bro. He's just knocking everybody down, bro. I think he's gonna fight for the belt next.
Wow. He's the next come up.
Dude, that guy he looks like fucking rock, bro. He's yeah, he's definitely very good.
Okay. I gotta check them out. This thing's taking forever, isn't it? I have a feeling it would. All right. See, I'm starting to get hints over here that we could start breaking through that resistance. And if that happens, I'm just gonna close the pool. No point sitting through this. And you know, there's always going to be an opportunity if it's going to play out, an opportunity for a reentry and a much cleaner and safer reentry as well, if that happens. That's gold on the beginning of a week when you got data coming out later in the week. You could very well be getting this push. That's what we got this morning with that 8 o'clock volume, but you know, maybe not as well. TGJ, we did retest that area. Did retest the high? That's good. Yeah, these are going to be your safe buys above that area on GJ 851. So the 4-hour candle is going to be closing bullish over here. Like I said, I think the move over here was what Keon grabbed. Getting up here is a little iffy, but down here where he was able to grab to retest that high, clean move to the left over here to retest that high, bounce off this liquidity grab zone where you know we've seen in the past as well, the past couple of weeks that we've been talking about, taking advantage of these moves right here. That's what he was able to grab. Let me see if he answered the London chat. Sydney, you see Sammy's answer?
What do you mean?
He answered you in general chat.
Um,
He hasn't been active.
yeah. I saw
He's-
that. Yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't been active because he just got engaged. And he's moving into some real estate stuff too.
Okay.
But he's a little Casanova.
He's buying houses with the Forex profits or what, bro?
Yeah, he's done very well for himself.
Nice, man.
Okay, so we're breaking above this area. This is as good as done. So I'm just gonna close this. This was I think I overall lost on this. Yeah, overall lost 0.4%. Risk 1%, lost overall 0.4%. Yeah. So let's see. Let me actually mark that up for you guys. Over here. So I'm good. Even if this thing tanks, I'm fine with missing it. So it's worth taking the shot on. What is it, 15 minutes? Yeah, look at it go now. Closed. Oh. And then lost. 16 pips, but I was able to gain a little percentage.
Are we backtesting today?
No, we are back testing tomorrow, Tuesday. So
Okay.
me and you are doing our Zoom tomorrow, and we're back testing before that at 1 p.m.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I have to go for now. I have to work.
Sounds
I
good, man.
got
Yeah,
an
we are
appointment.
all finished here. Loss, I would say good risk management. Then I gotta write my description over here.
See you tomorrow.
Sounds good, man. The rest of you guys have a great day. Finish those daily musts, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.
Yes, sir. Good day.
Awesome, man.
Goodbye.
Enjoy your night, Quentin.
Thank you.
See you guys.